Hey everyone, you're tuning in to M in the Stacks, and we're going through my week 2 Bookopolathon. I finished up Bookopolathon. I read 5 books this week, 4 with her prompts, 1 was for not, and it just cleared up everything. So that was done, and I also rolled for some new books this for this video. So let's get into it. So the first book I read, which was not for a prompt, was A Very Large Expanse Sea by Tari Mafi. I gave it 5 stars. It is 2002, the year after 9/11, and there's so many very heightened emotions there. And we're following Shirin, um, who is a 16-year-old Muslim girl who is going through that time. And a lot of her world gets mixed up when a boy named Ocean takes interest in her. And I thought it was done really well. I gave it 5 stars. Very powerful, very emotional, very enjoyable. Um, Very heavy though, very heavy. Obviously, but it's done in a point of view that is a little bit lighter, because it is following a 16-year-old girl who's going through school, and there's lots of other extra things. So it's not just what she's dealing with at school; it's how she's sort of, trying to find other focus, and it involves some pretty cool stuff. So yeah, I give it 5 stars. Very excellent book. The next book I read was The Lash Witch by Andrzej Sapkowski. Um, and this one got 4 stars. Um, Basically, I'm sure y'all know about the Netflix series The Witcher. This book in was inspired that basically. This is The Witcher. This is The Witcher 0.5, and it is recommended to read this before you read the rest of the series. So, for the most part, it was just not great. There's a whole bunch of short stories, and most of the short stories I was like, eh, eh, okay, those are woo. Yeah, not great. I was very interested. I really did enjoy those. There were about 7 little stories called The Voice of Reason, which were really good, really short and really easy, but everything else was just kind of meh until the last story, which was The Last Wish. And it's this really, really strong story. And I that story alone got 5 stars because it was so good. The Voice of Reason got 4 stars, all 7 of them, because they were all just very nice and very steady. And the rest of the rest got 3. So it ended up getting a 4 stars in the end. I will go through and read the rest of The Last Wish, um, the Witcher, sorry, and see what that's all about. May as well. Okay, that was fun. What a good time. All right, so my next book, Ghostwood Song by Erica Waters. So, The Last Wish was for translated. Ghostwood Song is for your book with nature on the cover, because there's like wood and flower and wasps. This got 5 stars, and I wrote in my Goodreads review, this book spooked the poop out of me, which was true. It's a very, very haunting book. Haunting is such a interesting word to use for a book, I feel like, because I feel like all books sort of like follow you, but this one in particular really got me because it was kind of heavy, it was dark, it was a mystery, but it was also very horror-y. Like there was a lot of just like horror elements that were just tugging at it, and I was quite fond of it. I don't like getting spooked. I like my poop not spooked, but this was good. Um, I heard about this first from the Epic Reads, and I know it's going to win the Book Shimmy Awards, and I know it's going to be talked about, and I'm excited for that because I think it's really good. Yeah, I just wish there was a little bit more character development in it, but I can't really knock it any stars for that because it was just like, well, I got in here to be spooked, and I got spooked, and I got exactly what I wanted. But if there was to be any sort of continuation, which I hope there's not, or there's more books from the author, which I believe there's one coming out next year, I would like a little bit more character development, character being pulled from there. But overall, I gave it the 5 stars I think it deserves. And then for my last one, which was most recent purchase, that was the last prompt I had, I read Bleach Volumes 2 and 3 because I had skipped Set in the Future. So that's what I got. So I did Volumes 2 and 3 of Bleach, gave them both 5 stars. The beginning of Bleach is always probably one of the best little arcs that the story has done. But it's been a while since I've gone through the manga, so it's a little bit hard to tell. Overall, I thought the story was done well. Loved all the characters. I loved all the characters before. Just going back and visiting them, love them very much. I think Volume 3 is probably the strongest of the volumes, but we'll tune in and see. So yeah, that was the 5 books. Currently, I'm 6 books ahead on my Goodreads. I've read 43 out of 54 books. Thank God I started counting manga, otherwise I would not be anywhere close. Alright, so now we get into my rolls. So, I did 5 rolls. That was my goal. I wanted to do 5 rolls. That was simple. And, as we know, you never end up with just your 5 books. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books. Yeah, 7 books. So I went a little bit overboard. Let's get into them. So the first roll I rolled a 9. I landed on an LGBT trip, and I picked up that blue sky feeling. When Noshiro transfers to new school, he meets Sanada, a loner who doesn't seem to have friends or want any. And the kids that Sanada keeps to himself because he's secretly gay. So I think that could be really good. I don't know if it is really the LGBTQ rev, but that seems to be part of the story. So I'd like to find out for myself rather than be told. So yeah, that's that. So my next one was Community Shelf, and I did something a little bit different for my Community Shelf because I love my music. I listen to music constantly. So my Community Shelf was to listen to. I put a bunch of albums on there or playlists, a little bit of the mix. And I draw that one. First song I shuffle, that's the song that inspires my book. And so my card was Dido's Still on My Mind, the album. The song I got was Friends, and the song is basically about how they've been pulled apart. So I'm reading Kuroku's Basket, volumes 1 and 2, because it is a volume, and my ones just came in, which I'm excited for. I'm going to finish up the series soon. Basically, this is about Kuroko, which he's right here, plays basketball. And it's really good. Yes, this is a reread. It's always a reread. They're all rereads. Usually. My next one is, it was Own Voices, so I have American Street. This is last year's YRC, not this year's, last year's, one of the seniors. Didn't win, but yeah. I don't know, I've always been kind of interested in it. I think it's really powerful. On the corner of American Street and Joy Road, Fabiola Toussaint thought she would finally find on Bellevue a good life. But basically, Fabiola is there on her own. I'm excited to read it. It's not a long book, and from what I can tell, from what I can see a little bit of it, it's a little bit lyrical, so it might remind me a lot of the Poet-X, which I'm excited about because I really like the Poet-X. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this. Alright, that's done. So next is a sad book, and I'm picking up Demon Slayer Volume 3 for that. Some people might be on and off, but I know that from what I've heard, I know this does not end well. So it might not fit your traditional sad book, but I think this, the start was very sad, and it's just still very dark, even a lot of funny moments. So yeah, Demon Slayer Volume 3 will be my sad book. Then I got Big Book, and I was like, no. and then randomized TBR. Although my TBR I don't own, it's all somewhere else. So rather than do that, I decided to roll again. And of course, my last roll, as was last month, was translated. So, 3 translated books. Am I cheating by using manga? No, because they're translated. So we got Vampire Knight, which is something that's been kind of catching my eye. It's a shoujo manga, but I don't think it'll be like Idle Dreams. We'll find out, won't we? So that is translated book 1. Translated book 2 is D. Gray Man. D. Gray Man I have read multiple times, very fond of it. So this was an easy pick. I wanted to go back to it for a while. I took a whole bunch of it from the library. So that's that. And finally, Beastars. Heard a lot of good things about this. So I'm excited to get into it and learn all the good stuff. So that was my Bookopolathon week 2. Thanks for stopping in. This was Em in the Stacks. Read well, write well, and have a good week. See you next time.